That's a good ball for Peter Weir. Now Aberdeen with McGee making the break and Hewitt waiting in the middle. Hewitt!
Countdown to Kickoff is brought to you by Saltire Energy, who I'm delighted to say recently renewed their annual sponsorship with Alibeg ABTV. My continued thanks to Mike Logie and to Craig Cameron for their continued support. And also by Craig International, a truly global company with 10 offices strategically placed around the world. The future of global procurement is right here. Tomorrow, we're back at Pittodrie as Queen's Park come up north ahead of their Premier Sports League Cup game. Kick-off at Pittodrie is at 3 o'clock tomorrow, and we're looking forward to welcome Barry Nicholson back to Pittodrie as well. Hi everybody, how you doing? A very good evening. Welcome to Countdown to Kick-Off. This is the preview show ahead of Aberdeen's game in the League Cup against Queen's Park at Pittodrie tomorrow. Bit of a busy show tonight. We've got quite a lot to get through, so I really hope you enjoy it. A little bit later, we'll be getting in a unique and exclusive insight into how Queen's Park have prepared for their game against Aberdeen. I was delighted to have caught up with Barry Nicholson yesterday from his home in down south, and we spent a couple of minutes just talking about how his preparations are going. Barry obviously used to play for Aberdeen. He made 125 appearances, scored 21 goals. He's now Callum Davidson's assistant manager at Queen's Park, and I was absolutely thrilled that he came on the show. So we'll bring you that interview a little bit later. Usual bits and pieces to get through, and of course looking for your input tonight as well. So come on, tell us how you're doing, and just let me know your feelings and your thoughts ahead of the game tomorrow. It's been a good week, hasn't it? Well, I say that with my tongue placed firmly in my cheek, because obviously the biggest secret in football eventually, well, it happened, didn't it? Bojan on his way to Girona, and we spoke about the class act that this chap is after he said his fond farewell to the fans at Pittodrie last week, and he went all over social media this week again to just reiterate his point of thanking the fans and just saying how fantastic a time he had at the football club, and that he will be forever grateful, and more importantly, he is now a Dons fan and will continue to look out for our results, and he wishes the lads nothing but the very best of luck. So Bojan Majowski off to Girona, 6.8 million was the fee agreed, but they're expecting that to sort of rise with add-ons and stuff like that. Obviously, there's so much to talk about, because I tried to predict the team for tomorrow, and I must admit, I didn't really know where to go with it, because we've got our new lads who have been training now for a good solid week. All their visas are cleared, everything is done now, match clearance, all sorted out. So what I've done is I've tried to predict the team, and let me know what you think. So basically, I've gone still with the same back four that started a number of games recently. I've gone with the captain and Nielsen to play again just in front of them. The only change that I've made to the side that I predicted last week is that I think Pape will drop out, and I think Ante Palaversa will come into his role. Now, for Topi Keskinen, I think he'll be on the bench tomorrow, but I do think he'll play his part. So I expect Jamie to start on the left, Shaden to start on the right, and I think Esther will play just in front of Ante. But listen, what do I know? That's just what I'm predicting. If you agree, or more importantly, disagree, then please come on and let me know what you guys think. Right, now, we've got a lot to get through, so you're going to have to bear with me for just a moment, because I need to clear the timeline to be able to fit everything in. So, we've got the predicted team line done. Yes. So, as always, I've picked out a couple of points from Yimi's press conference, so that's there. Then we'll do Barry. I think we'll do Barry after that. Really enjoyed catching up with Barry. Such a top lad. Wasn't he a good player for the Dons? An underrated player, I thought, for Aberdeen. Then we'll get the old match stats in. So we'll chuck them in there. What else have I got for you? Oh, yes, I've got that for you as well. And then one last thing to chuck in, and then we are done. We are... Where are you? There you are, you little bandit. There we go, right, in you are. Right, so, Yumi picked out a couple of points from his press conference. He said about Queen's Park, they're really good with the ball and they can mix the game with some strong build-up and then attack behind. They're also a good club with strong organisation and good staff. For us, it's no different. We have to go 100%. It's an important game on Saturday. We still have a lot of things to improve on in our game. Hopefully during this process, we still find a way to win, have this team spirit that some players are stepping forward and taking some responsibility. He finished off by saying, so we can get more and more consistent in our build-up and in our way to press teams. There is still a lot of work to do, but believe in it. I really enjoy what he has to say in press conferences. I just think it's a breath of fresh air. And for me, it's just something completely new, completely fresh. Instead of the old football cliches and the old brush answers off with the same old answers, I just think he's got an originality about him, which I really enjoy, and I enjoy catching up with his press conferences on Red TV. I'm kind of hoping that you guys are in agreement as well. He really is a breath of fresh air. Right, so let's get Barry on. So I caught up with him yesterday. So take into consideration that I caught up with him yesterday because of what he says during the chat. We spoke for nearly 3 minutes or so, just about Queen's Park preparations for the game and just basic how they're all going. So welcome to the show, former Aberdeen midfielder and current Queen's Park assistant manager, Barry Nicholson. Barry, it's lovely to see you. Thank you so much for jumping on because I know how busy you must be in preparation for the game on Saturday. Just first and foremost, how are your preparations going?
Yeah, listen, glad that you've had me on, Ali. It's been good, really. Bit of a whirlwind for me. Obviously, started the season, didn't really know where I was going to be, but I took a call from Callum to go in and join him as assistant manager at Queen's Park. So it's Callum's been somebody that I've been wanting to work with for a long time. So we've started the season pretty well. We had a decent result against Livingston last Friday night in the league campaign. They're obviously a tough team coming down from the Premier League, so I think that's given the boys a little bit of confidence after the sort of first day defeat against Falkirk. Obviously, we had the Premier Sports Cup wins before that, the group stages that obviously culminates in the game against Aberdeen at the weekend. So, but no, it's been a really good start, and from Friday night we've prepared really well. Managed to recover pretty well over the weekend, and then we've had some good training days building up to the Aberdeen game at the weekend.
Obviously, the Dons are flying at the beginning of this season. Have you had them watched at all?
Yeah, well, me and Callum went to the St Johnstone game. We watched them at Aberdeen Park on their first game on the Monday night, so we went to that. And then obviously we've watched the games against Airdrie so far, and we've watched the game against St Mirren last weekend as well on Sunday. So yeah, as you say, they're flying. They've got off to a great start. A team look like they're high in confidence at the minute, like sort of fast attacking football, and especially good on the counter attack. So. Listen, we've tried to prepare as much as we can. We've obviously got another couple of days before the game, but we'll do everything we can to try and go up there with a game plan to obviously try and stop them doing what they're good at, and hopefully we can perform well ourselves.
Just out of interest, Barry, do you guys travel up on the day of the game, or do you go up the night before? And how does that affect your preparations for the game?
Yeah, not just as normal. We'll train tomorrow morning, Ali, and then we'll all jump in the bus and we'll go up tomorrow night. So. Okay. We'll stay over tomorrow night in Aberdeen. Just gives us the best preparation possible for the game. But we now say we've had a good week's training. We'll finish that off tomorrow and do all the sort of finer details tomorrow morning before jumping in the bus, getting up the road, and then hopefully it's over to the players to hopefully perform and put the game plan into practice. I'm sure they'll try to the best of their ability. We know it's going to be tough. We probably need Aberdeen to be slightly off their game. But if we can perform to the best of our ability, then we've definitely got players in the dressing room that we feel that can hurt any opposition. So we'll have to defend well. We know that we'll have to defend really well.
Barry, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for jumping on. Safe travels up the road and enjoy your time up in Aberdeen again, but not too much. Not too much.
No problem. Cheers, Ali.
Bye, mate. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
There we go, Barry Nicholson. Right, let's bring you the match stats for the game. So Saturday will be our 6th League Cup tie against Queen's Park. The first match coming back in 1972 and the most recent being played in 2006. Who remembers that at Firhill at Partick Thistle? I was actually at that game when I was living in Glasgow at the time, and of course we lost on penalties. A night to forget. Queen's Park won 3 of their 4 League Cup group matches, scoring an impressive 16 goals in the process. Aberdeen at the start of the season have a 100% win record, winning 7 from 7. And if Nicky Devlin is selected tomorrow, it will bring up his 60th appearance for Aberdeen. Now, usually at this point, I tell you who the referee is. But for some reason, the Scottish Football Association are not giving information out about who the referee is for the game. So I have absolutely no idea who the man is in charge tomorrow. If you know, or if you have seen it somewhere, get in touch. Let us know. Right, let's get you on. So, live. There we are, and let's just make it nice and small, and we'll pause that. There we go. Okay. Oh, I see. Lots of you on tonight. Lovely. Thank you so much. Johnny Wilson says, fit like Ali, doing just fine, thank you. Looking forward to seeing Auntie and Toppy tomorrow. Also hear Leighton might be back sooner than expected. Think we still need a quality striker, but overall good times. Yeah, I agree. The Sidibe thing was an interesting one, where, you know, according to reports, we had kicked in this release clause of 500 million quid. But Craig Levine, St Johnstone's manager, in his press conference today said that he knows nothing of any bid or of any release contract being basically kicked in by any football club. So again, there were a few reports kicking about that it was basically the agent that was just making a fuss, as is their wont these days. Gordon Keith Ritchie says, hi all, play our strongest team, score a few goals, then rest the top players that play every week. Get a good support from tomorrow. Come on, you Reds. Gavin Wilson says, good evening all. I'm hoping for a good scoreline and early. Then maybe Jimmy will bring on the new players if they aren't starting. Looking forward to hearing the interview with one of our former players. Hope you enjoyed it. Richie Mickey McMillan, how you doing, fella? Not much to say. He's just going to sit in and listen in. It's not like you, fella. Colin Gale is here. Hi, Colin. It was great to see the club quickly moving on when Boat said he was undecided about returning to Scotland. Sugarland says, good evening, comrades. Really looking forward to the game tomorrow. Keith Shepherd said, what is the status of Aberdeen's pursuit of the St Johnstone player? So I hope I've just cleared that up for you. Keith Shepherd has said, hi, Dandies. Ali, I hope that you're keeping well post-surgery. Getting better every single day. Thank you, Keith. Everything is starting to heal quite nicely, actually. The old bullet wound where the old stoma and colostomy bag were is healing very nicely. Still a little bit tender. Had the stitches taken out on yesterday. In fact, I had the stitches taken out, the last of the stitches. Oh, that was fun. Sugarland makes a good point. He says, I was totalling up the income from the past few years, as in transfer fees. Starting with Sam Cosgrove, this has to be 25 million quid that the Dons have taken in from transfer since the 2020-2021 season. Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up, Sugarland, because obviously this new model that Dave Cormack and the board instigated a number of years ago about bringing players in fairly cheap, affordable, and then obviously selling them on for, you know, inflated transfer fees from when we first got them, of course, and obviously bringing through our young talent and offloading them as well is obviously working, and we're obviously reaping the benefits of that. It was interesting to see Alan Burrows this week talking as well about how all the money will be reinvested into the football squad and the department, which is great to see. So I think off the pitch, and on the pitch at the moment. It's hugely exciting. Isn't it great? Isn't it really, really great? Okay, John Grant says, good evening, Dandies. Hopefully we will continue with our winning streak, but Yimmy has a few tough calls to make with his team selection for tomorrow. Stuart Malcolm says, good evening, everybody. Hope all is well. Travelling down for the game tomorrow. He's predicting a 4-0 win for the Dandies. He says it's rather cold in Forres. Musical Box is on saying hello. Luminous Reality said, so sad to see Bojan leave, but so happy the manner in which he did. Looks like we're already spending the money wisely. No loan players either. Good point. Yep. Sick and tired of loan players. Deary me. Kirsten is on. How you doing? Evening, Dandies. Looking forward to the game tomorrow. Hopefully see the two new boys at some point. I think we will. I think we'll definitely see them tomorrow. For me, it's the perfect game to chuck them in. Isn't it? Don't you think? Transmission GGB is here. He says, hello all. And yes, I'm still trying to hold back the tears after last Sunday's send-off for Majovski. But hopefully this season will make it easier to get over it and see a winning Dons team again. Noel Blaha is here. Hi Noel, how are you? All the way from the States. He's reminding everybody to press the old like button. Suze is here saying good evening. David Gold, Rally Vids is here saying good evening. Matthew Cooler says, fit like, sad to see Bojan go, but what a servant he's been for us. Dean Duff said, good evening all. How's the sky looking tonight, Ali? Hang on, Dean. A wee bit overcast. A wee bit. I can't believe how popular that post that I put out last week, the picture that I quickly and randomly took of the sky last week. We've got to do more random stuff, haven't we? He's hoping to see Topi Keskinen at some point tomorrow. Not sure that he will start though yet. I'm with you, Dean. Phil McLean has said, looking forward to the game, hopefully a win, but never underestimate the underdog. Oh, listen, as Barry said, he will have them, him and Callum will have Queen's Park very well organised tomorrow. Barry Cole said, looking forward to the game, and says JT has come in. The team is a pleasure to watch, and it's exciting. Emotional last weekend watching Bojan leaving. Gary says, I just hope Bojan doesn't celebrate when he scores against us next season. I take it when we play maybe the Champions League. Scott W is predicting a scalping tomorrow. He's going for a 5-0 or a 6-0 win. I like that a lot, Scott. Kenneth McPherson is wishing everyone a good evening. Doug Smith says, I still don't know if we got a good deal for Bojan. 4.26 million down payment and 2.5 based on performances. The player he's replacing, Diopvic, to Roma for 32.5 million. It doesn't sound right to me. Some of the transfer fees are mind-boggling, aren't they? Transmission GGB in regards to Barry Nicholson said, Barry was a great player for the Dons. Who will ever remember that goal against Hearts? The set is on our way to European football. Taking his top off, then suddenly realising, oh God, I'm on a yellow card. Gets sent off. Musical Box said, I expect we will win tomorrow quite handily, but I am aware that this is a potential banana skin. Yimmy T has too much savvy for Queen's Park, though. Mark Leslie is predicting a hat-trick for Esther Sokler tomorrow, and it will make everyone feel better about Majovski leaving. Oh, Keith Shepherd makes a nice little post there. He said, at 16 years of age, I played in a provisional team, on a provincial, let me start that again. Keith, sorry dude. At 16 years of age, I played on a provincial winning team in Ontario, Canada. My captain during this time was Graham Leggett. Yes, son of Graham Leggett, Aberdeen's great striker. How cool is that? The Randomness Gentleman, good evening. New to this channel, I've been a Don for all my 42 years. Really excited about this season. Thank you for jumping on. Thank you for watching. I really hope you enjoy the show. If you do, press the old like button. And more importantly, don't forget to subscribe. It's great to have you here. Dave B said, good evening, Dandies. I think your team selection is right and Toppy will come on for Morris. part way through. The randomness gentleman came back to say that we do need to replace Bojan. Lorraine Baxter is here. Hi Lorraine, how are you? Looking forward to the match tomorrow. I think it could be a difficult game. Lorraine will take a 1-0 win. Gareth Mackey says, well, the inevitable happened and down a born goal scorer, but how well did that lad go about his move? Going to the game tomorrow, who would you say is our modern day Nicholson equivalent, Ali? Oh, good point. Good point. Barry was a bit of an, if I remember correctly, a bit more of an attacking midfielder, wasn't he? Played in the same team as Scott Seven, who sat back just a wee bit. Attacking midfielder. See when Jamie sort of plays more central, Jamie McGrath. Kind of reminds me of Jamie McGrath when he plays more central. Chris Clark says, hi Ali, sitting in my cabin offshore, tuning in. Very good feeling around the club with the direction we look to be going in under Jimmy. Bojan's departure was so respectful on all sides. Class. The musical box said, I find Jimmy T an impressive manager. He seems to have integrity and vision. Gareth is suggesting that we should rotate a little bit tomorrow. A lot of players to keep keen. Would rest Shinnie and McGrath, start Palaversa and Vinny. Yeah, why not? Absolutely. A lot of you are suggesting, you know, how excited you are and how much confidence that you've got in the side this season. Scott W says, oddly, I can't recall the penalty lost to Queen's Park. Lucky you. I remember it well. I actually walked. It was with my ex-girlfriend at the time, who was a Mancunian, and her niece and nephew, who were very young at the time, if I remember correctly, came up and stayed with us for a few days. Their mum and dad dropped them off from their home in Manchester to stay with us for a wee while. And I thought, do you know what? I'm going to take them to an Aberdeen game. So I lived in the West End of Glasgow at the time, and we decided to walk to Fairhill. Took us a wee bit longer than I first thought it was going to. Sat behind the goal. It was a dreadful performance. And if I remember correctly, in fact, I don't have to remember this, I know it's true, Billy Stark was the manager of Queen's Park at the time. And Queen's Park absolutely matched us on the evening. It was one of the worst performances I can ever recall. And we were right behind the goal for the penalty shootout as well. And yeah, they absolutely did us in the penalty shootout. That was also a very long walk back to the West End of Glasgow. Dearie me. What a rubbish night that was. Barry Cole says, I truly hope we have a contract placed in front of Devlin and McGrath. Completely agree. Did I say 500 million? Sorry. when I said about the St Johnstone player, right? Sorry. 500,000. Hey, it's the medication. I blame the medication. Doric Dave says, feel like matey, hope you're in good health, bud. Feels good to look forward to the games again. Doric Dave, I hope you're well, mate. Keep fit, my man. Oh, David King, what a question that is. When will the new stadium be built? Dearie me, how long is a piece of string? Gosh. Who knows? Chilling is on, wishing everyone a good evening. Okay, so you're now absolutely ripping me apart for that 500 million. To be fair, I deserve it. Derek Griffiths has said, good evening, Ali and Dandies. Looking forward to seeing the new boy Toppy, as he looked like he's got a lot of pace on him. I can't wait to see this lad. Kirsten was also at the game at Fairhill back in 2006. Steve Williamson says, hi Ali, can't wait for tomorrow. Purchased the retro 1983 top. It's getting its first outing. All the best. Love it. I love a retro top. Oh dear. I love a retro top. It's never going to happen, Scott. It's never going to happen. Barry Cole says, we need to get Conor Barron on and ask him how his Champions League dream is going. Bob Duff said, farewell Bojan, but he won't be getting replaced like for like. These things never happen. Like McGee with Frankie, we will play a different way with wingers getting balls into the box and a poacher. David Gold Rally Vid said the business model is working well. Sad to see players like Bojan leaving, but he did incredibly well for us. Rodney J. Lenny says Aberdeen is a big name in the Scottish game. We should be fighting for the top 3 in the league. We should be fighting for top 2, not top 3. Doug Smith says Bojan aside. In fact, I'm going to retract that comment. We should be aiming for number 1. Yeah, simple. I had a rant about it the other day. We should not settle for being the 3rd best club in Scotland. We should be number 1. And why the hell not? A lot of you were so happy to see Barry Nick. I kind of, you know, it's where I'm trying to be slightly different with the channel. You know, it's and I really hope that you're enjoying the sort of the exclusive and the insights from opposing managers and coaches. You know, we had Rhys McCabe on from Airdrie a couple of weeks ago, who I thought was absolutely fantastic. So I'm going to try and sort of set a trend and try and get sort of opposing managers and coaches on as we go on through the season, because I just think it adds a little bit more interest to the show. I hope you don't mind. Kenny McDonald has said, hi Ali, things are going well. Player trading, new management. We have a top training facility. Just one question. Is there any news at all on a new stadium? Things have gone really quiet. Not a dicky bird. I see, talking about 500 million quid. I read with interest today the old, what do you call it? The beach leisure centre. That's the one, the beach leisure centre. With the old flumes. Yeah, water slides, whatever you want to call them, is getting knocked down. Now, did I read that correctly? Did I read 500 million or did I read 50 million? Whatever I read, I thought to myself, good Lord in heaven, that much to knock the place down? Surely not. A AOI fan says Jamie McGrath reminds me of Paul Mason. Just a good player who could play anywhere on the pitch, but so happens to play on the wing. What a player Paul Mason was. Rob Clark is here. Rob, how are you? He says, hope you're doing well. Just got the information you requested. Good man. So he said the referee is C. Stephen. Is that right? Is that right? C. Stephen? I don't know who that is, I confess. Thank you, James. Doing just fine. Thank you. Thank you, Paul. On the mend. Thank you, mate. A lot of you are having a bit of a giggle at Rangers' exit the other night. I must admit, I did as well. Barry Cole says, I can see Richardson being the next one out the door. Yep. Mark Leslie says, do you think Duke is raging at his agent right now? He'd be playing up front like he wanted to. Oh, it's a sorry state of affairs, that is. Chris Clark has said, question for everyone. Would you take our current squad or the Rangers' current squad for the season ahead? For me, it's our squad every day. Genuinely feel they are there for the taking this season. They are. Overrated. Always have been. Keith Shepard said, great to hear opposing managers' thoughts. Comes across as being very respectful. Love it. Scott W. said, Yumi has said it's a 3-year project. Is his plan to win the title in year 3, I wonder? I like that. I like that kind of wondering. Kilted Warrior is also reminding everybody to hit the like button. Dave B, I like that as well. He says, why can't we be the Leicester of the Scottish Premiership? Exactly. Why not? Xander SM says, hello Ali, hopefully more cup runs this year. The form is incredible right now. Stand free. Right guys, I have one last thing to do. One last thing. Right, we've done 30 minutes, so if you enjoyed the show, don't forget to like. And also, if you haven't already subscribed, I'd be absolutely delighted if you please would. There's my wee boy. Hang on, there's my wee boy. Hi, fella. Okay, I'm just finishing, so you're now live on Ali Beg AB TV as we speak, okay? I'm just literally saying goodbye to everybody, then I'm coming. So you go to the pizza place and I'll meet you there in exactly 5 minutes. No, they can't hear your voice, Tiger. Love you. See you in 5 minutes. What's up, dude? Bye. He just said, what's up, guys? Good night. Have a fantastic weekend. All the very best of luck to the lads tomorrow. Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait. And I'll see you Sunday night, 7 o'clock, for the review show. Folks, stand free.